It's Bernard Nomberg with another episode of NOMBERG LAW Live. It's Tuesday, 10 o'clock Central, and I've got my friend JanieMac with us today. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're at LAH Realty. JanieMac is one of the realtors here, and we're going to talk about real estate. More specifically, we're going to talk about residential real estate. And JanieMac, if you would, just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm JanieMac Roe. I live here in Mountain Brook in Birmingham, Alabama. I work at LAH Real Estate, also located in Mountain Brook. I've been a realtor for 5 years, and I just absolutely love it.
And your concentration in realty is in residential?
Yes, absolutely residential. I do buyers and listings in the Birmingham metro area, from Gardendale to Trussville, Mountain Brook, Homewood, Vestavia, any of the areas all the way down to Chelsea.
Oh, very good. That's a big area.
Yep.
But that's great.
I sell everywhere.
That's great. Well, I've always been under the impression, falsely or not, that the springtime is the most popular time to buy and sell homes. Is that a false impression, or is that still accurate?
It is a very big time for buying and selling of properties. It just kind of happens that way. The grass is green, the flowers are all on the trees, so the landscaping and the curb appeal is usually at its best. But also there's other times of the year that is great too. Summertime, when kids are out of school, it's kind of easier to list, and people are looking for houses to buy to get their children in a new school district. There's also, in the fall time, sometimes it's really good to list your house in the fall because you have more serious buyers. Usually the buyers that are having to buy in the fall are serious. They have to move for some reason, because a lot of the other buyers wait till spring. So it's another good time to list.
Okay. And again, for those of you just tuning in, it's Bernard Nomberg with NOMBERG Law Live. We come to you every Tuesday. We're with JanieMac Roe. She's a realtor here in Birmingham with LAH. If you guys have any questions that you want to ask, please feel free to put them in the comments section. We'll see those. And at the end of our show today, we'll put all JanieMac's contact information in the comments section. JanieMac, I have been a long time owner of my home for many years. It's an old home in Forest Park, and not every home is 108 years old like mine. And knock on some wood, it's in pretty good shape right now. But I know this time of the year, lots of people, regardless if they're trying to get their house ready for selling or not, they're making repairs and they're doing some things. And we live in the central part of Alabama, and this time of the year, it's heavy with storms, tornadoes, unfortunately, and bad weather. Do you have any suggestions, some tips, some thoughts for homeowners, regardless if you're trying to sell it or not, what you should do to help prepare your house for that type of weather?
Absolutely. There are lots of things that you can do to prepare for the weather. You always want to take care of the general maintenance items of your home. Be sure to have all the windows caulked around the window sills. Also, you want to make sure that you have proper gutters with proper gutter extensions. You always want to have at least 10 feet of a gutter extender off the bottom of your gutter. If you don't, the water will come down your gutters and really just pour into your foundation, and the number one cause of foundation issues is water. And so you want to definitely divert that away from your home. Add French drains to the back of your house if your landscaping slopes towards your home, and things like that. Those are the things that you can do.
Well, I know we can't prevent all the trees that topple and all of those types of things, but I'm sure there are those types of things that you mentioned and many others. You can be proactive to helping your house and your property.
Exactly. And after big storms come through, that we have the heavy winds, the tornadoes, and the hail damage, definitely check your attics, check your foundations, your crawl spaces. Make sure there's not water coming in somehow. And if you do detect that there's water coming in, or if you have damaged shingles, or if you see pock marks from the hail damage on your roof and the vents, then call a roofer. Lots of times they will come to your home roof to make sure that there's not damage, and they will, even if there is damage and they think it's an insurance claim, then they will you can contact your insurance company, and they will actually meet the adjuster at your house to point out the damage to try to help you get repairs or a new roof if possible.
Very good, very good. Let's shift away from the bad weather and stuff and talk about, let's say that you're a homeowner and you're thinking you want to sell your house at some point in the next calendar year. What kind of things can you do before you list your house that you recommend that people do to get their house ready for when they want to meet with you and start the process?
Exactly. You definitely want to go through your home and do any small repairs around the house. If you have dings in your sheetrock, or if you have scratches and the paint needs to be touched up. If you have wood rot or peeling paint, you want to take care of that. You also want to declutter your home. You want to deep clean it. You want to stage your home to where it's minimalist. You don't want to look like you have a storage issue. Mm-hmm. Also, when you list your home, you want to actually go into your closets, declutter your closets, because your attic and your basement, because when buyers come in, they're going to open up your closets to see if you have a storage issue. And if it's packed to the rim, then they're going to suspect that there is a storage issue. You also want to price competitively, because inventory's been difficult around here lately. There aren't a lot of great listings, and the ones that are sitting on the market are usually overpriced. And so if you want to price competitively, you may end up with a lot of offers.
Mm-hmm. When you were talking about decluttering your house, maybe that's a good time to have some type of a garage sale or yard sale or donations.
Yeah.
Or if you can't really part with your things, maybe you need a storage unit for a while.
A storage unit is a great idea. And also there's lots of trading sites around Birmingham where you can actually sell your things if you need a little extra cash to help with the repairs.
Very good, very good. So you start that, I'm going to say a year, 6 months ahead of time when you really want to put, if you have the luxury of time.
If you have the luxury of time, yes, it's good to be able to have plenty of time to do that.
Okay. I want to give a shout out to Cece and to Steve for watching us. Cece's got a question. When selling a home, what renovations or remodels is the most important to consider?
Well, when you're getting if you want to get money back, what buyers are looking for, or what I see buyers are looking for, remodeled kitchens, open concept remodeled kitchens, nice white countertops and cabinets and things like that. That is what a lot of buyers are requesting. And also remodeled bathrooms. I think you get more money out of remodeled bathrooms, because when people buy a house, they don't want to move in and have to do a ton of renovations.
Okay, good question. Thank you. That's excellent advice. Let's shift a little bit to folks who are, let's say you're moving from out of state or even out of town, and you're coming to the Birmingham market, and you don't know, because maybe you got a job here in Birmingham, and now you're starting to scout, and I know there's school districts to be concerned about. There's areas of town dealing with traffic. And this is kind of a wide open question.
Yeah.
But what's your advice to people who are watching this maybe from out of town? They're going to be moving into town. Where do you start? Because it's such the metro area is so diverse.
In any process of purchasing a home, you want to contact a good realtor. A good realtor is going to be able to give you websites like schooldigger.com has ratings on school districts in the area. We can't really tell you which school districts you should choose. You have to look for the ratings on your own.
Sure.
And you also want to utilize sites like realtor.com, and also the local. We have a Greater Alabama MLS website, that greateralabama.com, that you can look at listings and things like that. But your best advocate and the best thing to do is to contact a good realtor.
Well, speaking of contacting good realtors, how do folks get in touch with you?
I'm at LAH Mountain Brook. My phone number is 205-908-3699. You can call or text or email me. My email address is JanieMac@lahrealestate.com. I'm usually always available.
And we'll put all your contact information in the comment section when we're finished. Let's stay on the concept of or the type of person who's wanting to buy homes. You live here locally. You can't buy your next home until you sell your current home. Explain how that process usually works.
Okay. Well, right now in Birmingham, we're seeing inventory issues, and so we have a lot of buyers that are looking for homes, and there aren't, and the great listings that hit the market are usually if they're priced well and they have some nice updates and it's a desirable location and lot, they're going under contract usually within 24 hours with multiple offers.
Wow.
So you really want to be prepared. So if you are buying, I suggest you immediately get a pre-approval from a lender, preferably a lender you can contact over the weekend that can give you a pre-approval letter. Say you find a listing and you want to buy it, well, they're going to want to see your pre-approval letter. And if you can't get that on the weekend, you may miss out on that opportunity. You also want to, if you have a house to sell, a lot of the contracts that are going through right now are non-contingent on a home sale. So you want to make sure that your house is prepared and ready to go on the market, that the photos are done, so that if you find a house that you want to buy, you have your pre-approval letter, but then you also can immediately put your current home on the market so that you can show those sellers that, hey, we're serious. We want this home. Our house is going to be listed tomorrow. Consider our offer.
So you really have got to have all your ducks in a row.
You've got to have all your ducks in a row, for sure.
Is there a handy website or listing where you know of where folks have put together, say, a short list of these things that you're going over? Have your pre-approval letter ready, have your photographs ready, and those kind of things.
Oh, I have a full list of documents. So if anybody wants to email me, I can send you the things to do to get ready for the buyer's market.
And tell us that email again.
It's JanieMac, JanieMac @lahrealestate.com.
Okay. And I see signs all over my neighborhood, which is Forest Park, close to downtown, for sale, either for sale by owner or more often are listing by different companies. But I also see lots and lots of open houses listings. Is this still a very popular way to have your house looked at in person?
Absolutely. Usually when I list a home, the first Sunday that it's been listed, I try to have a public open house because it does bring in a lot of the people who have not secured agents yet. So, in the general public, now there are a lot of looky-loos and there are a lot of nosy neighbors that come through, but it is a good way to get a lot of people in your home pretty quickly.
Well,
and
great.
I also have agent open houses. Usually the first Tuesday of listing a home, I have an agent open house where I usually have a catered lunch. We have door prizes and things like that to really draw in agents to see your home, because you want as many agents and as many of the general public to come through your home so that you could eventually get it sold very quickly.
Okay, and is that pretty early in the process?
Very early, usually within the first week.
Okay. How long does it take from the time you first meet with an agent and from there until typically, and I know every situation's a little different, until you actually get your house listed and put on the market?
Well, let's do a rush case. Say you found out you've got a new job and you've got to move, within as quickly as possible. Usually I can schedule, you want to do a list of the maintenance items. I'll walk through your home, do a list of general items, paint, declutter, whatever I think that you need to do to get your home ready for the market. Then you'll need to do a deep cleaning, and then we'll schedule photos. And usually I can get that done in 2 weeks, lots of times less. It depends on the photographers. And even if the photographers are backed up, I have a professional camera and I can do it myself.
So realistically, can you get a house listed and potentially sold within a month?
Oh, easily.
Okay.
If you price competitively and you are prepared and ready, absolutely.
Wow. What about those folks who insist on listing and attempting to sell their home by owner? I know I see more and more of that with the internet giving all these suggestions, and you get what you pay for. I get that part.
Yeah.
But how is it for an experienced real estate agent having to deal with a for sale by owner?
Well, I have had buyers and I have sold for sale by owners, and lots of times I see it as a challenge because they're not getting advice from a professional, and so they may not have the proper comps pulled on their home, and they may be overpriced, or even worse, they may be underpriced. And if you're underpriced, I know that I can show this to my client and be like, well, this house is worth probably 50 plus grand more than what they have it listed for, and I'm going to swoop in and get that deal for my clients.
It's in my world, in the legal world, it's kind of like dealing with a pro se, an unrepresented client. And it can be challenging at times. I know in certain situations you can do it, but it does present some challenges.
lots of the times some agents, real estate agents, can take advantage of the sellers in that too, because we know what we're doing. We do this on a daily basis, and we know what you or potentially could be doing wrong, and we could take advantage of that, which is not good. So I always recommend hiring an agent.
Absolutely. What about if I'm trying to sell my house? What's your recommendations about hiring, even before you put it on the market? What if you were to hire an inspector to go through your home before you even list it, to kind of help you find all your issues?
A lot with as competitive as the market is right now, listing wise, it is a great idea to get a pre-home inspection. That way, because when it goes under contract and they get that home inspection, and there's some hidden things that you did not know about, you could lose that sale, and that contract could fall through, and then you've already been listed on the market, and the rush is going to completely go down. So it is always a great idea to go through there, find out if there are any health and safety issues, find out if there are any expensive or inexpensive repairs that can be done. There are a lot of first-time home buyers out there, and they're the ones with the non-contingent contracts because they've never purchased a home before. And so if they come through your home, put in an offer, and they see that home inspection, it's going to scare them away, and you could potentially lose that sale.
What's the average price if the homeowner hires an inspector just to do it on their own? What's an average price?
I usually think they're around $350 to $450, depending on the size of your home. Yeah, it's a really good investment to get in there and know what you're dealing with.
Okay. Well, for those of you just joining us, thank you for spending a few minutes. I'm with JanieMac Roe. She's a realtor here in town with LAH Realty. JanieMac, how can folks get in touch with you?
My phone number is 205-908-3699. That is my cell phone. I receive text messages and phone calls pretty much all day.
I'm sure.
My husband loves it. But my email address is JanieMac, that's JanieMac at lahrealestate.com.
Very good. We're getting to toward the end of our interview here. I really appreciate you being on. I really appreciate
the opportunity.
And absolutely. Any other words of wisdom or tips to folks either buying or selling in the Birmingham area that they're just starting the process?
Be prepared. Contact a good realtor. They're going to be your biggest advocate. So that is definitely my best advice.
How about just from a general standpoint, being patient?
Yes, absolutely. Being patient is always a good thing.
Yeah. Nothing ever happens as quickly as you want it to.
No.
In fact, a lot of times things, I'm sure, like in my world as well, it's hurry up and wait.
Yes.
Hurry up and wait.
It is definitely a hurry up and wait situation, but you definitely want to be prepared. Go through your home, declutter, be ready, and if you're a buyer, get pre-approved.
Very good. Excellent advice from JanieMac on buying and selling homes. Again, we'll put all of our contact information in the comment section. Thank you guys for spending some time with us this morning. This will conclude our interview. We'll be back next Tuesday, NOMBERG Law Live, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific time. Have a good weekend.